Hello students, welcome you again to my YouTube channel. I am your English teacher. Today we are going to learn a new lesson, the Tiny Teacher, lesson number 1 from your English Supplementary Reader, An Alien Hand. See the Tiny Teacher. Students can guess who this tiny teacher is. Though so very small, the ant is unbelievably intelligent and hardworking. Among the various kinds, the commonest ant is black or red. Ants lived in comfortable homes called ant hills. From these features, we have come to know that the tiny teacher is none other than the small creature, the ant, and why it is referred or called as the tiny teacher. So let's find it out. Reading the lesson. Name the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest. Is it the fly? No, it isn't. Is it the mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. It is the ant, the commonest, the smallest, but the wisest insect. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue, but people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely, so we know a number of facts about these tiny, hardworking and intelligent creatures. An ant uses its feelers or antenna to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the other coming from the opposite directions by touching their feelers. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we were children, but haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or ant hills. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones called grubs. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. Soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. No worker or soldiers or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. So you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Its does is share work intelligently and bravely, and never fight with other members of the group. Now let's have a comprehension check. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue. The italicized phrase means, that is the term, the phrase almost untrue, means we have three options: highly exaggerated, too remarkable to be true, not based on facts. Roman number 2, too remarkable to be true, is most likely the answer. Roman number 2. Now, question number 2. Complete the following sentences. An ant is the smallest dash. We can write An ant is the smallest but the wisest insect. Remark number 2. We know a number of facts about an ant's life because people have kept them as pets and watched their daily behavior closely. Number 3. In what ways is an ant's life peaceful? Each group of ants has a fixed duty to do. They never interfere in the job of others. They never try to harm one another. Thus, an ant's life is very peaceful. Or we can say ants are the smallest creatures on earth, but they are very intelligent and hardworking. They are the wisest of all insects. In the ant house, different rooms are allotted for different activities. Each group of ants has a fixed duty to do. They never interfere with the job of others. They never try to harm each other. Thus, an ant's life is very peaceful. Now let's read the remaining portion. The queen ant has a pair of wings, which she casts off before she begins to lay eggs. Eggs hatch and become grubs. Grubs change into cocoons, and cocoons break to bring forth complete ants. The life of an ordinary ant in the anthill is a book which many of us seldom opened. The queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings, but bites them off after its wedding flight. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone high up in the air. On its return to earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lay eggs. Eggs hatch and grubs come out. Soldiers guard them, workers feed and clean them, and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for 3 weeks more. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appeared. Now it's time for teaching and training. New ants learned their duty from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. An anthill is a home not only for ants, but also for some other creatures, beetles, lesser breeds of ants, and the green fly. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nest? For several reasons. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Others give sweet juices, and some are just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. The green fly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew like milk with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as we milk the cow. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. They may still learn a few things from this tiny teacher: hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where they lived. Now we have another comprehension check. How long does it take for a grub to become a complete ant? It takes a grub 5 to 6 weeks to become a complete ant. Every ant colony has a queen. Only she lays eggs. These eggs hatch and grubs come out. The workers carry them about daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. In 2 or 3 weeks, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for 3 more weeks. After completion of 3 more weeks, coconut break and ants appeared. It takes a graft 5 to 6 weeks to become a complete ant. Why do the workers ants carry the grubs about? Like I said, the worker ants carry the grubs about for airing, exercise, and sunshine. What jobs are new ants trained for? The new ants are trained to work as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. They have various jobs in the colony. Name some other creatures that lived in anthills. Beetles, lesser breed of ants, and the greenfly are some other creatures that lived in anthills. Mention 3 things we can learn from the tiny teacher. Give reason for choosing these items. You see, from the tiny teacher, we can learn good values such as hard work, sense of duty, and discipline, and firm loyalty to our motherland or to the community. You see, I like these things because these are very important for any civilized person to live in a society. So we have some exercises. Discuss the following topics in groups. Roman number 1. What problems are you likely to face if you keep ants as pets? So if we keep ants as pets, they may spoil our food items. They may also enter our clothes and bite us. And sometimes it becomes dangerous if they get inside the nose or the ears of the children. When a group of bees find nectar, it informs other bees of its location, quantity, etc. through dancing. Can you guess what ants communicate to their fellow ants by touching one another's feelers? Ants greet their fellow ants by touching one another's feelers. They may also inform them where the food lies. They may be giving information about the locations of the food by communicating through the feelers. Next exercise. Complete the following poem with words from the box below, then recite the poem. Soldiers lived in the barracks and birds in, we can fill in nest, N-E-S-T as nest, much like a snake that rests, and the word nest rhymes with rest. In A, we can write hole, H-O-L-E, hole. No horse is able to sleep except in a stable, S-T-A-B-L-E, stable. And a dog lives well, mind you, only in a kennel, K-E-N-N-E-L, kennel. To say hi to an ant, if you will, you may have to climb ant hill. Anthill, A-N-T-H-I-L-L. A matter of tongue. In humans, the tongue is the organ of taste. It also helps in chewing, swallowing, and speaking. Some animals like the frog and the chameleons use the tongue to catch prey. The chameleon's tongue is so long that it keeps it folded in the mouth. but it can flick it in and out at lightning speed. The snake uses its tongue to smell. The reptile flickers its tongue in and out each time, carrying molecules from its surroundings to an organ called Jacobson's organ in the roof of its mouth. The blue whale has the largest tongue, which can weigh as much as an elephant. So these are some of the fun facts about the tongue, which is an important body organ. Now let's come to the discussions. Let me summarize it for you, sum it up, the whole lesson. You see, we are talking about ants. See, ants are the smallest creatures on earth, but they are very intelligent and hardworking. They are the wisest of all insects, according to the writer. An ant talks to other ants through its feelers, or called antenna. They pass messages through them while walking in a row. Each ant greets all the other ants coming from the opposite directions by touching their feelers. There are many kinds of ants. The black and the red ones are the commonest kinds of ants. The ants live in their comfortable homes just below the surface of the soil. These homes are called nests or ant hills. Each home has hundreds of little rooms and passages. Some rooms are used by the queen to lay eggs, while others are used as nurseries for the young ones called grubs. Workers have their fixed quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms are used as storehouses for the food. Soldiers have separate barracks. All ants do their share of job intelligently and courageously. Ants never fight with other members of the group. Thus, an ant's life is very peaceful. The queen ant is the mother of a colony of ants. It lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings which it bites off after its wedding flight. The queen's flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone. The meeting takes place high up in the air. On its return to the ground, it gets rid of its wings, after which it does nothing except lay eggs. Eggs hatch and become grubs. Grubs change into cocoons, and cocoons break to bring forth complete ants. All this takes 5 to 6 weeks. Then begins the teaching and training. New ants learn their duties from old ones. They learn to work as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After the training is over, the small ants get busy in their job. In an ant hill, other creatures also lived. They include beetles, lesser breeds of ants, and the green fly. Some of the creatures give off smells that is pleasant to the ants' senses, just like perfumes. Others give sweet juice. Some are kept as pets or playthings. The green fly is the ant's cow. Ants milk it just as humans milk the cow. Humans can learn a lot of good things from ants, such as discipline, hard work, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and most importantly, loyalty to their land or to the community. That's why ants are called the tiny teachers. and thus the title of the lesson is justified.